Two-car draft at the bottom of the racetrack. A.J. Allmendinger in the 43 car, Mark Martin in the 5. Saw these guys work together a lot in practice, and they were fast no matter which one was pushing the other.
Worked together a lot in practice, but I believe this may be the first time we've had them up in the front here fighting for the lead. And that's the way this race unfolds always. So many unexpected, and you never know who's going to rise to the top.
Allmendinger started 13th, Mark Martin 15th. They lead the Daytona 500. Oh, Kyle Busch.
Spin behind you, wave to 7.
Gets it down on the apron without further contact. Jostling further back, but no other collision.
That was luck.
And Rowdy Busch, winner of 24 races across NASCAR's top 3 series last year, has brought out the first caution of the day.
See what happened here up on the outside. Gets a shove from Michael there in the 15 car. Wrong place, wrong time. Remember, the drivers say, I can't see past the car in front of me. So Michael really can't see. It looked to me like Kyle in the 18 said, I'm going to get behind the 5, but Michael wasn't ready for him to do that. We've talked about how the drivers communicate with each other on their radios. Those two may not have the ability to do that.
Let's have a look from behind the accident, right in the middle of the racetrack.
Darrell, did it almost look like he wanted to first go down there and then had a second thought about it and came back up?
I think he got just a tad loose when he was going to cut to the bottom. I think his car got a little loose, and then Michael was right up on him, and the air just
from Mark Martin.
3 wide. Behind you, outside.
McMurray and Montoya, and 2 fast forwards right behind them. David Reagan in the 6 and rookie Trevor Bayne in the 21 of the Wood brothers.
And just remember, David Reagan in that 6 car, that's a backup car that had to start at the rear of the field as well.
Riding with Mark Martin.
looks pretty easy, doesn't it?
We know better.
Think you could drive a car, folks, at home 200 miles an hour?
Closer together than most people park?
Yeah, 200 miles an hour with somebody pushing.
Trouble, turn 3.
Big wreck.
Brian Kozlowski, David Rudiman, Michael Waltrip, Matt Kenseth, and
wreck.
half the field.
I see about 3 of the Hendrick cars there that's involved.
Mark Martin is there. I see him. There's a Biffle. Jimmy Johnson's laying over there. There's a 24 car. Looks pretty bad.
Brian Vickers limping around. And Mark Martin is part of it. Greg Biffle got a piece of it. Joe Nemechek's right front all torn up. The 9 of Marcus Ambrose.
Let's see if we can figure out what happened here, Larry. They're running awfully close together.
Watch the top right of your screen coming
right up here.
Michael into his teammate Rudiman.
Got Rudiman loose.
Right in front of Keselowski. Here comes Nemechek. Pow into Michael.
Look at, nope, didn't make it. Didn't make it.
Brian Keselowski, we just talked about, was involved. That white car up against the wall there.
There's Mark Martin down here, Jimmy Johnson, Jeff Gordon. My. Let's see if we can see anything. Well, there's not a whole lot to see. Michael just got into the back of the. Tony Stewart did the same thing to Michael in the Bud shootout. Got into him pretty hard and turned him around right there and got Michael with it.
And Darrell, everybody was going to the apron, but those cars sliding off 31 degrees of banking, that's where they're going to end up.
It's kind of an old saying down here. What goes down must come up. And you try to go around on the outside if you can.
Jimmy Johnson's 48 just barely got into the back of Matt Kenseth to do enough damage to the right front.
The old Aaron Stream machine, she's done.
Marcus Ambrose is going to the garage for repair. Michael Waltrip's car comes steaming toward the garage.
Brian Vickers in the 83 car gets a lot of damage. Marcus Ambrose in the 9.
Look at that. 300 cars, 24, 48, and 5, all slamming into each other.
Back it down, back it down, back it down. Come on. Still coming. We're front around over here, guys. We're to the right side.
And now ride with Mark Martin.
You still 3 spinning in front of you. Get down if you can. Get back up. Get back up. 9 car to spun us. Stage 3 sits in the door.
And Jeff Gordon's view.
22 right in front of us. Right in front of us. Check it up. Check up. Check up. Check up. Check up. Check up. Get up.
Jimmy Johnson.
Side 2 wide in front of you, in front of you, in front of you. Correct.
Dick Bergeron is with David Rudiman.
You know, one of the things that we are all concerned about, I know I was the weather today. It's going to be hotter. Man, we got a gaggle going across here. It's going to be hotter. It was going to be, this track gets slicker. And we've talked about grip down here for the last 10 days, but today, I got to believe the track's a little bit less grippy than it's been in the last several days.
Dave Blaney driving for Tommy Baldwin. And Al Hankey on, car in the wall, front straightaway. And it is Richardson, Robert Richardson, into the inside wall, coming toward the start-finish line. And that will put us under caution for the 5th time.
Yeah, tied up the corner.
I just think that's right back to what I was saying about the track. I think it's given up some grip that these guys have had down here when it's been at night, been cool. This place gets slick in the daytime.
Single car crash for Richardson. Matt Kenseth will get the free pass. He'll come around and pick up one of the laps that he is down.
But Mike, you just mentioned it. He's leading it right now. Dave Blaney in that 36 car just had taken the lead. This was a team and a driver that had to wait to the second dual race to see if they were even going to make the Daytona 500. They came down here with no sponsor on that race car. Just got this sponsor done last night.
Here's what happened to the 37. Robert Richardson. Oof.
Sure glad they put that safer barrier down along that inside wall there, because we've had a lot of people get into it.
Hard hit. Travis Kvapil is the car behind. And this is the second caution in a row, watching from our Fox Exmo extreme slow motion cam, where we've had one car trying to help another and instead taking them out of the race.
Yeah, that's actually teammates right there. Robert Richardson and the other car that got into the back of him.
And in both cases, I think a lot of it has been the guy in the front had to get up out of the gas a little bit, or something happened with the car in the front. The guy behind him just runs over him.
7th caution of the day. This one for Travis Kvapil. Pit road's open. Steve.
Fuel only for Cliff Boyer last time, Mike. Right sides this time. Matt?
Right side tires as well, Steve, for the 31 of Jeff Burton. They're going to top him off with Sunoco, Krista.
Matt, the call is also 2 tires for Dale Earnhardt Jr. He is fired up on the radio, Dick.
And Keselowski is taking 4 tires. He's been fast all day. Has run up front the entire race.
Dale Jr., Clint Boyer lead the race off pit road, although Kyle Busch and Denny Hamlin did not make pit stops under this caution. Here's what happened. Travis Kvapil, who turned Richardson around for the last caution, gets up out of the groove, knocks the long john and the silver off the right side of his car.
Had all the look that a right front tire was going down on that car.
Good point. Time for the AT&T race break. Down to Chris.
Name me another sport where you communicate strategy with the guy you're trying to beat for the biggest event of the year. I mean, we're seeing it all over this racetrack all day long.
I mean, you steal signs in baseball, you get a pitch in the ear. Sure.
Oh, you'll play nice right now. I wouldn't depend on it at the end of the day.
We talked earlier about Regan Smith, who has been with the leaders all day. Now his number 78 is out of that lead pack and back at 8th place. Steve?
And Mike, Larry just talked about the understand the caution out. Back to you, Mike.
Yellow flag as Travis Kvapil limps onto pit road. And back to Steve.
And Mike, you were just talking about Regan Smith in the 78 and the fact that they have an engine program with ECR. They just told Regan, do not run part throttle. Repeat, no part throttle, and that comes from the engine department.
And what that does is when you're part throttle, it leans the engine out. If you're wide open, you're sucking max fuel. When you got it part throttle, the engine wants to detonate. It doesn't have a good flow of fuel going into it, and it'll cause it to burn a piston.
And that's why I go back to what Darrell said earlier. The guy that's up there by pushing, he can't roll out of the throttle. The guy in front needs to do that trail braking, but stay wide open on the throttle.
And Darrell, let's don't forget, we're racing a new fuel today. This is the hottest temperature we've seen all week long. And you know how when you start trying to fine tune these race cars, if you get the timing and the mixture a little off because of the heat temperature, and plus the engines maybe run a little warmer, all of these things could be a mixture for disaster is about what it works out to be.
I think you're right, Jeff, and I think this, again, is hotter today, and it's been the whole week, and I think it's kind of catching some of these guys out just a little bit on their engine tuning.
So with 76 laps to go, they'll open the pits for fuel and tires if needed, and there'll be at least one more pit stop in this race.
The Daytona 500 on Fox is sponsored by Budweiser. Great times are waiting. Grab some buds.
The 2009 winner of the 500, Matt Kenseth, has crashed hard in the tri-oval. He's climbed out of the car. He is okay. He was being bump drafted by Greg Biffle. You're riding with Biffle.
Guy in front of Matt can't pick a lane. Easy,
I think Biffle was trying to go down to get him behind Matt and just mistimed it a little bit. Clipped him in the right rear and shot him into the outside wall. And again, see all those styrofoam blocks? That's the safer barrier. Man, that is the greatest thing since interliners and tires.
Again, Matt Kenseth climbed from his car. He was okay. Here's looking back from Joey Logano. Pretty vicious hit. Here it is on our Fox Exmo cam.
And did you see how close he came to taking Montoya out?
Tenth caution flag of this Daytona 500. It comes out with 64 laps to go and 26 cars on the lead lap. We saw Bobby Labonte slow earlier. He was trying to get out of potential trouble, picked up another drafting partner. His number 47 continues on okay. The rookie is having a great ride here in second place.
You know what? And every time I've talked to him, we had him on the show yesterday afternoon. You heard him this morning before the race started. Very confident, very calm, got a great head on his shoulders.
Truex will bring him off the corner. Here is Dick Bergman.
Matt Kenseth, trouble on the racetrack.
And it is Montoya crashing along with Greg Biffle. And again, Montoya makes a great save to come down pit road as the caution flag flies for the 11th time today as they slow down to pace car speed. Let's get back to Dick Berggren, who is with the driver taken out in the last incident.
Yeah, and you and the Biff are the best of friends. What happened between you two guys?
Oh, it wasn't his fault at all. It's my fault for using bad judgment. So our car was pretty beat up, and Mark got to wave around that time, and there was two of us a lap down, both trying to get the lucky dog in the heat of the moment, trying to race up through there. And I've never been in traffic with all the damage from the first incident, and I couldn't control my car very good, and I was trying to work my way to the back, and we were kind of going up through the middle and had some slow cars, and Logano tried to block, and when he did, I had to slow up, and at the same time, Greg just couldn't slow up in time. So it's just should use better judgment, roll around the back, and take what we could get.
A lot of action in this year's Daytona 500.
Thank you, Dick. This ties the record for caution flags in the 500 at 11. Top of your screen, here they come off turn 4.
Well, I think you got to remember something too about that 16 car. It's been wrecked once, and so it's not handling all that great. And Montoya just got into the back of him. And you know, Larry, one thing, and Mike, these guys have been so complimentary of each other. Oh, it wasn't his fault. Just racing.
Look at that yellow car of Kurt Busch dive to the inside and escape down pit road, as does Ryan Newman.
So much of that has to do with this fresh asphalt. It has a ton of grip. You can turn that car just dead left straight down pit road.
Fresh grass doesn't have much grip at all.
Still clear by 3 out back. Montoya pushing. And he turned the pin on. On pit road now. In the grass. Take it easy. Nothing's coming at you. Hold her down right there. Nothing.
And on our Fox Exmo cam,
we were talking about synchronized racing. That's synchronized spinning right there.
look at Montoya, the car control, locks the brake, waits on it, unlocks the brake to make the turn to pit road, while Biffle is headed for the grass.
Like a snow plow going through there.
Yeah. That nose is tough, though. Look at it. It's eating that grass up, but it's not affecting that nose other than from the wreck. But the part's still there. It's not even moving. We've seen that on a number of occasions. I wouldn't be so sure he doesn't have a TV in that car.
He might. Wonder if he has a view of Digger.
Ah! Get back in there.
Ryan Newman, Denny Hamlin were out front last time by. Regan Smith, Dale Earnhardt Jr., Martin Truex. Regan Smith now hooked up with Earnhardt Jr.
Get right here for long, boys. I'm telling you.
3 Chevys and a Toyota out front. The 2007 winner, Kevin Harvick, has tweeted that he is back home after falling out of the race with a blown engine. 42nd place. Harvick says, sounds like a wild race.
What it is, I don't see nothing.
38 car hit the wall.
Kevin, it is a wild race, and into the wall for the 3rd time today. Travis Kvapil, caution waves for the 12th time.
Mike, what this caution does, you got to make sure you get that car full of fuel. This puts you right there where you can get to the end, but just remember, you always have the chance of green-white checkers.
Oh, I'd almost guarantee that.
Probably the first time Kvapil hit the wall did enough damage to cause the second 2 times, and been a tough day for Front Row Motorsports, as it has been for several teams today. Hendrick Motorsports, 3 of their 4 cars taken out early. Richard Childress Racing, 2 engine failures. Roush Racing, 2 cars out in 2 consecutive accidents, and Michael Waltrip Racing, 2 cars out in the same wreck.
Well, it takes 2 to tango. We know that.
Now let's take an inside look and listen at what's happening now in the NASCAR Sprint Cup Series. Brought to you by Sprint and HTC Evo 4G. Carl Edwards and Trevor Bayne.
You got me, Trevor.
Oh, trouble.
Yeah, who's this?
Turn 3.
Hey, bub.
Into the wall goes Keselowski.
They were 3 wide getting in there. I was just about ready that there was going to be trouble in turn 3, and sure enough.
And there's more. Another car involved after
is that
trying
Regan
to drive
Smith?
out of it, and it's Regan Smith.
I thought it was. Did he hit anything? It looks pretty clean.
I don't think so, Darrell. I think he just got turned around.
Slowed up and got turned around.
So caution is out again. Record number of cautions. This is number 13.
Yeah, they were getting wadded up going into 3 over there, and then there were 3 wide, and oh, look at Brad's car. It's killed. You can see right in here, there's just a big wad of cars, and
Robbie Gordon.
Like Robbie got into the back of Brad. And you know, you just can't say what happened. You don't know if Brad had to lift. You don't know if he was trying to change lanes.
That's what sent Smith to the infield.
He got down there and hit Joey Logano on the 20 that got into the side of Regan Smith in the 78.
Yeah, I think that's a pretty hard lick on that 20 too, Larry. Robbie gets a little contact.
Oh, Tony, big miss right there.
Great job there.
Look at Montoya.
Once again just slips by. Then
as he comes down the track,
when he comes down the hill, this is when
trouble.
he's going to get into the side of the 20 car. Right there.
Look at Stephen Wallace in that 77. What a job.
He missed one.
What a job by him, though.
Yay!
Right here in front. Stay low, stay low, stay low, stay low. Just check up, stay low. Get on the apron, on the apron.
Ah, that sounded pretty hard.
Tony Stewart had a split second. Not even time to decide, just time to react, and he missed it. Digger didn't. We're under caution in Daytona. Inside 20 laps to go. And still a tight pack at the front of the field. 8 cars battling for the win in the Daytona 500. Ryan Newman holding back, the 11 of Denny Hamlin pushing. Here comes David Reagan and Trevor Bayne in the 21. And on the outside, Clint Boyer and Kyle Busch.
Yeah, don't.
Out.
Oh, 4 car in the wall. Caution out.
Turn 4, caution's out.
Casey Kane into the wall, and we're told that the defending champion of the 500, Jamie McMurray, is down a cylinder.
Yeah, he went by here sounding really, really bad, really ragged.
Watch the number 4 of Casey Kane. It's like Carl Edwards knew something was wrong. He got off Kane, and Kane went up and into the wall.
Looked like Kane had a tire go down. He just kind of eased up the hill there and smacked the wall. Yep, right front.
Look at the run, that 11 and that 39. Hamlin and Newman are getting on the high side, and that's where Reagan in the 6 and Bayne in the 21 goes to the high
Trevor
side.
Bayne has such a good sense about where the guy in front of him is going to go. What a great pusher he is. 3 wide right here at the line. Can they make it?
4 laps to go.
The 33 of Boyer, the 18 of Kyle Busch, they're blocked. They can't go anywhere right now because they're 3 wide in front of them.
6 times a driver has scored his first sprint. Oh! Smith gets turned in front of Boyer and Newman and Hamlin.
Keep coming. Caution's out now. Wave them off.
That's because Smith got a little bit of a gap between he and Busch, and Busch slammed into him.
You could see that starting to happen.
Yeah, that was. That's when they went in turn 1. I said, can they make it?
And Ryan Newman's attempt to win his second Daytona 500 may be thwarted right here. Regan Smith's car looks remarkably intact.
The right side's really in bad shape.
And here it is from the blimp. Watch the bottom of your screen, 78-22.
Watch this gap that the 78 gets off the corner here now. Now, Kurt Busch says he's getting a push from Tony. He slams into, he didn't get hooked up smooth. He slammed into the back of the 78, and that just turned him into the outside wall.
Dave Blaney scoots through.
Hamlin was on the brakes, locking up. He's going to have to come to pit road because he's got flat spotted tires. But that was just from getting a little bit of a gap. And then Tony Stewart got behind Kurt Busch and just pushed him up, and he slammed into the back of Regan Smith in the 78 and turned him in the outside wall.
Left front damage on Hamlin. The nose gone on Boyer's car. Left front damage to Newman. Right side damage to Smith. There you see it.
It was almost guaranteed, Larry. I didn't see how they could keep pushing it like that, the way they were. 3 wide this late in the day.
That's the 2 cars that's led to most laps in this Daytona 500, Ryan Newman and Clint Boyer.
And Regan Smith, what a wonderful day he had had up to
Wonderful week.
Great. You see right there, that was just too hard to hit. Even though it's on the straightaway, these cars are harder to control down the straightaway than they are in the corner with the banking.
Newman and Boyer have made pit stops, and they are able to continue. Now Hamlin has a flat tire. He will pit this time.
Yeah, he flat spotted his tires trying to miss this deal going down the back. Bam.
Regan Smith turned in front of Boyer and Newman. Nowhere to go.
Kyle Busch got some damage as well, left front fender.
Let's ride through this with Dale Earnhardt Jr.
One in front of him, half. He's to him, he's to him. Hey, come on low, come on low, come on low, come on, come on, come on.
Great job, man. Great.
And there's what happened to Denny Hamlin's left front. Youngest winner of the 500 ever, Jeff Gordon, at age 25. Older than either David Reagan or Trevor Bayne right now.
Pretty exciting right here, gang.
Going for green-white checker. There are the speeds of the leaders as they come down behind the pace car, perhaps for the final time. 2 laps to glory. Green flag.
Perfect. Good hesitation. Now if they can get hooked up and push.
And Tony timed it a little better, but can Bobby Labonte get up there to help Tony Stewart, or is he a man alone?
He's in no man's land. I just don't know if he can hang out there.
But look at the 2 Busch brothers, Kurt Busch in the 22 and Kyle Busch in the 18, working the high side.
I'm hearing they're going, oh, we got a car around. Got a car around right
Bobby
there.
Gordon saves it.
But the 6 is being black flagged, passing before the start-finish line.
And a car on the wall.
Newman again.
Ryan Newman hits the wall.
Oh, no, Junior.
Truex and Junior.
Oh, no, and here's Truex.
Caution is out.
Dadgum.
Caution is out there, yeah.
Dale Earnhardt Jr., Martin Truex tied up in that one with Ryan Newman. And the caution is out with 2 to go.
Mike,
and here is...
Yeah, let's look at this restart because this is crucial.
Watch the 6 of David Reagan. He is the leader right there on the outside. He must maintain lane position to the start-finish line for this to be a legal start. When he changes lanes, he has violated NASCAR procedure, and he'll get a black flag.
They timed it perfectly. They just went too soon.
Yes.
They just needed to wait a few more seconds. And then back in here, it just gets wadded up.
Tony Stewart was just a sitting duck right there with no help.
He gets in right here, which is good. But here comes Robbie Gordon with a head of steam. And Tony had filled the hole that Robbie was going to try to go in. Robbie almost saves it, saves it, saves it.
So Gordon's down and off the racetrack. What happens behind them? A.J. Allmendinger got into Ryan Newman, who got into the wall, who collected Truex, came across, and Junior spun.
Yeah, it's like some drivers were checking up, some were not.
No pressure there anywhere you want to go. Spinning up there, go high, go high. Watch that 7. Oh, he's coming, come back, come on, come on, come on, come on. No caution, come on. Hello, come on, come on, come on. There you go. Hold the brake, We're in, guys.
Looked like not Allmendinger, but someone to Newman's right.
Yeah,
tipped him.
Newman definitely bounced off the wall and got Junior as he was trying to go by. And I think what happened here is they saw the 7 coming back up on the racetrack, and they were trying to make room, and there wasn't any room. And then Junior just got out there, got turned.
Now Kyle Busch has come to pit road. So has Clint Boyer, and so has Ryan Newman, with a lot of damage to Newman's car.
Now, David Reagan in the 6, there you see his crew chief, Drew Blickensderfer. He was ignoring the black flag, and the last time by, they gave him the black flag with the white cross, which means you can keep going, but we're not going to score you, but we're here, and he will come to pit road this time.
They usually give you 3 laps, and I mean, they don't have to even do that these days. That was back in the day when we couldn't communicate, but they usually give you 3 laps to respond.
It is the leader's responsibility to bring the field down at speed and start the race on the flag, the signal from the starter. But NASCAR rules, you must maintain lane position until you cross the start-finish line, and Reagan simply changed lanes too soon.